objective really would be to add our Slovenia contribution here for a more diversified financial system, where we see a lot of possibilities for the EU. The banking actually financing is complemented with other forms of financing, which is the case in some other developed monetary jurisdictions. So of course, the objective is of the Slovenian presidency to facilitate green and digital transformation. So the banking actually union really should go into the direction to further to protect or fully to protect depositors and retail investors. And what we expect is really good cooperation among all the stakeholders during this process.
No, in the middle term, and that will start indeed with your presidency as well. We need, in our view, to ensure that well, the banking sector, as far as we are concerned, can continue to serve the clients and the economy effectively. And there, of course, banks will need to be able to continue to lend, and therefore they need to deploy more capital.
First, regarding banking union, my feeling, or I think the major indicator should be capital over total assets. All these risk-weighted assets are very problematic methodology, and we will never get on the same page among banks. My experience from before. Secondly, small banks should have a proportionality treatment, even with this regard. It is important, and it is in EU is ex post instead of ex ante development regarding that. Regarding digitalization and greening, while digital banks are forced to go into digital direction, you don't need special initiative for that. While the greening, which means the environment, it's not the same story. But let's first say about digital. Crypto assets, crypto should be regulated.
Marjan, you also mentioned in your presentation the discussion about EBIS, and it's obviously a very politically charged discussion. And today, I think I've read on the tickers that this whole discussion has now been essentially postponed till October, November, because there's quite a big, let's say, dispute or different opinions about how EBIS should look like and how it will essentially interact with the other purpose about risk reduction. Yeah, so essentially delinking banks from their local sovereigns in order to lower the overall risks we're having in banks. So do you have any idea or view how this compromise could potentially look like? I mean, it's essentially a discussion mainly between northern countries and southern countries as far as I see it. But what could be, let's say, the finishing line in order to get essentially both targets? What is your view in this regard?
Sooner or later in the EU, we'll need to we'll need to make some progress in this respect, because this third pillar is really something which is badly missing in the context of the broader, I would say, European banking framework. So I need to say that actually there are different views, of course, as you made some geographical actually distribution on what kind of opinions actually member states could have here and have here. But I need to say one thing. So I've mentioned that I'm on the supervisory board of a development bank of Slovenia, and we goes into the topics of we discussed the topics which this I would say refinement of the Basel is trying to address, and I really see real needs for the application of renewed Basel III or Basel IV and into the European and then national legislation. So these are real issues. So maybe it is discussed in the context of risk reduction and so on. Of course, this would actually, the application of refined Basel, if you want, would actually address these issues.